Can we hear it for the Sanford High Chorus and Band? So for those of you who do not know me at this point, I am Matt Peterman. I'm the principal of Sanford High School. So I'm going to say good morning. And we are here on this beautiful fall day to begin a new journey, a new beginning for Sanford High School. First, you may be wondering what a student convocation is. I will tell you. It is defined as a formal coming together and marks a special time for our students and staff. Today we mark a historic moment as we opened the doors of Sanford High School at 100 Alumni Boulevard to you and our students. You are the first students of any grade level to take classes here. If this building serves this community for 50 years, some of you will have children who will graduate from this high school. Some of you will even have grandkids that walk these same hallways. I know it's a long ways off. So, the journey to get to opening day has been a long one. When I started teaching here in 2003, we were applying for a new school. At that time, we were very near 1,500 students in the building we just left. We were cramped. We were denied support at that time, but we fought on and applied again. When we were finally approved by the state, the planning began. There were multiple votes, there were multiple designs, selecting contractors, buying land, then construction began. This whole area was trees and a gravel pit. On June 1st, 2016, we had a groundbreaking ceremony down by the varsity softball field near Main Street. After more than 2 years of construction, look at what we have now. I am incredibly proud to be part of this. I was born and raised in Minnesota, and I never felt the kind of connection to any school I attended as I feel here in Sanford, Maine. I have a tremendous sense of pride in you, our students. We were supposed to move in late June, so we packed and had a plan to move. Then we were delayed, and while disappointed, you hung in there with style. We started the year at Old Sanford High School, and you hung on patiently. We played games on this field as we waited for our move-in date. We knew the day would come, and you took each week in stride. Once we got the word, we went to work. This staff worked incredibly hard to get ready for you today. I am eternally grateful to them for their hard work and dedication to this school, community, and you, the students. Thank you all for hanging in there. And I want you all to know that you make me very proud, Spartans. As much as I am proud of you, take pride in what you have. This school and its and its students will be a beacon of hope for this community. Take care of it and let the journey begin. Next up is Ms. Lambert.
Good morning, everyone. This is quite impressive that our entire student body can fill this stadium. My name is Mrs. Lambert. For the benefit of freshmen and those who don't know me, I'm an assistant principal and a very proud 1988 Sanford High graduate. Today is a proud day for us as we begin a new chapter in our school's history at your incredible new campus. The history of our school is full of milestones like this one that will be remembered for decades to come. Not every chapter in our history is about a new building. Generations before us have built a legacy of excellence in academics, in athletics, in music, and the arts. I recently learned a story of a Sanford High School graduate whose impact is still appreciated today. Ladies in the audience, please raise your hands if you have ever worn pants or shorts to school. While it seems commonplace for us today, can you believe there was a time when that wasn't allowed at SHS? Ladies of all ages were required to wear a skirt or dress to school. Pants were absolutely forbidden for them to wear. One young lady felt this was a violation of her civil rights, so she wore pants to school one day, only to be sent home to change into a skirt and return back to school, a 4-mile round-trip walk. This story repeated itself a few more times. She would wear pants to school, and the administrators would send her home to change into a skirt or dress. Everything changed one day in the spring of 1970. That day, she wore a purple pantsuit, which was the style at the time, we're not going to judge, as well as a tunic top that could be a tunic or a very mini skirt. That matched her pants, by the way. Again, she was called out of class. Ms. Johnson, the assistant principal, said to her in the hall outside her classroom, "You know you can't wear pants to school." This time, rather than having to walk home and change, she calmly removed her pants in the hallway and returned to the classroom bare-legged, wearing only the tunic top. School administrators soon realized that the skirts-only policy was wrong. Shortly after Ms. Johnson's depantsing, as it was called, all ladies were permitted to wear pants to school. Today, Ms. Johnson is a member of the Sanford School Committee, co-chair of the building committee, and a champion for all Sanford students. And as fate would have it, today is her birthday. If you would, please welcome Miss Kendra Williams.
Thank you, Mrs. Lambert. All I can say is that tunic top and mini dress looked a lot better on me then than it would right now. So I have pants. So welcome to your new school. What a great day, and look at the scenery you're surrounded with. This journey began 16 long years ago, before some of you were even born. And some people in our community, the leaders in Sanford, came together to create a vision for what the new high school and technical center could look like. That led to the very difficult process of getting the Sanford High School and Regional Technical Center through the process of approval with the state of Maine. Without their efforts, we would not be here today. So we owe these visionaries a deep debt of gratitude. I was privileged to be appointed as the school committee representative to the core building committee when it was formed 6 years ago. Through all the decisions and challenges along the way and the dedication of countless people, it's hard to believe this day is finally here. And although there have been delays in some areas that are yet to be completed, it's my firm belief that this building would not be opening until sometime next year, if not for the constant oversight and tenacity of our superintendent, Mr. Theaharides, in keeping things moving along and holding people accountable. Let's give Mr. Theaharides a big hand. Here's what I want you all to know. It's always been about creating the best possible learning environment for you, the students. The voters of this community, through their support of the project and commitment of extra funding to enhance the offerings, like this turf field, for example, the expanded size of the Performing Arts Committee, the Performing Arts Center, and also other things, bleachers in the practice gym. But the thing that comes to my mind most today is dehumidification in the entire building. I think you'll appreciate that later on. I was a senior the year the building you just left opened. I now realize many community members worked hard back then because they thought we were worth it. And in 1970, it was a great building and a big improvement from the previous one. But the truth is, I had absolutely no appreciation at the time. I wish I had savored it more. But I was more focused on completing my senior year, my boyfriend, and just getting out into the real world. I'll bet a lot of you, especially you seniors, can relate to that. Oh, and I got my license that September. So I was really excited to buy my first car for $30. It was a gem. A 1960 Ford Falcon with a standard transmission on the column. I'll bet most of you have never even heard or seen such a thing. What freedom it offered, and gas was only 30 cents a gallon. It's been a long time. I didn't realize that all three gears were important. So on the day I decided to skip school with my friends and go to Portland, I didn't think it would be a problem if I just went in second gear because I couldn't get it into third. It seemed to do just fine for a while. I'll never forget the chunks of metal in the road when it came to a grinding halt halfway down the Biddeford Road. I'll also never forget what the truck driver who stopped to help me said when I asked him, "Can you fix it?" He said, "Honey, nobody's ever gonna fix this." You can imagine the explaining I had to do. I donated that car to the automotive program, by the way. I'm not encouraging you to skip school. I tell you this because that was only one of many errors of judgment I made during high school, for which there were consequences. Fortunately, they were short-lived. You'll all make mistakes along the way. Try not to make them on purpose, though, because we can all do dumb things without even trying. Rather than letting your mistakes define you, learn from them while you still have the safety net of support around you. You have outstanding teachers, ed techs, guidance counselors, social workers, nurses, resources officers, coaches, vice principals, and other support staff. There's a lot of them. And they all have excellent leadership with your SRTC director, Mrs. Sargent, and your principal, Mr. Peterman. They are awesome. All of them are here because they care about you. They've all been working very hard this past week to make this a special opening day for you. Show them the appreciation and respect you want from them. And don't forget other people, like the custodians who maintain this environment and the food service workers who feed you. What opportunities the design of this new school with its integrated pathways offers you. No longer are our technical school classes separated from other academic classes. Thinking back to my experience my senior year, I think much of the reason I felt somewhat disconnected is because I spent my mornings in the front of the school and my afternoons in the back of the school, taking advantage of the data processing program and what was then called the vocational school. Doing so was a choice I needed to convince my parents was right for me, and it was. But now it's all integrated, and regardless of the pathway you're in, you'll have the chance to be exposed to all kinds of careers without having to limit your choices. You may have career goals now that will change when you see other options, and that's okay. Or you may take advantage of the technical programs that will build a foundation of knowledge for further education in your career choice. This is your time to explore and refine your goals. One thing I know is that you all have the opportunity to leave here and go directly into the workforce or to continue your education in whatever field suits you best. So keep an open mind and become familiar with all this school has to offer you. During your time here, it's absolutely important that you pay attention to your academics. The knowledge you gain, and yes, the grades you receive, will all be important factors that affect your opportunities when you graduate. But I want to talk to you about something that's equally important as your academics, and that's your commitment and attention to who you are and the kind of person you're becoming. What are your values? How do you treat others and yourself? Do you work well with others and treat others with respect? In 8 years, even the youngest of you will either be working, have completed college, or might even be heading to graduate school. Becoming a person that others will want to work and associate with will determine real success in all areas of your life. You're all a valuable part of this school community. Each and every one of you is equally important and has great potential. Take a moment to look around you right now. I mean, seriously, look left, right, back of you, front. Who do you see? There are likely many that you've never noticed or spoken to before. You could be missing a lot. So challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone and learn to open up to new relationships. Whether you have a tight circle of friends and are very secure in your connections, or you're introverted and feeling somewhat alone, challenge yourself to connect and speak with new people as often as you can. Think about what makes you as an individual unique and respect what makes others unique. Together, you contribute to the whole that makes up this school community. You can't go wrong if you value yourself and others equally and appreciate differences. Pay attention to your thoughts and remind yourselves frequently that nobody is superior or lesser than yourself. Your high school years are a time of rapid change and growth and are full of opportunities and emotions. Accept that you will have good days and bad days along the way, and remember now and always that nothing is ever permanent. Seek and accept support when you need it, and give it to others when they need it. Savor the good, learn from the bad. Both will make you the person you're destined to be. We're all part of this larger community we live in, and we have people here from several communities in York County who are all going to be intermingled, which is one of the wonderful things about the pathways. But right now, this school is your community. It was built for you and those that will go after you. As Mr. Peterman said, maybe your own kids someday or even grandkids. Take pride in it. Respect it. Treat it well. Commit yourself to making this school a community, a place you can be proud of, and leaving it the same as you found it, or hopefully even better. The lessons you learn here and the memories you make will guide you for the rest of your life. When you leave, you'll become part of other communities, work, college, and whatever community you choose to live in. Become engaged, and let this be a place where you can learn to pay attention to what community is all about and your role in it. And selfishly, I hope that someday when you've each chosen the path that's right for you, we'll see many of you return to this community to live, work, raise your own families, and contribute as you've learned to do here. Good luck to all of you, and enjoy this special place.
Can everybody hear me? Is that too loud? We good? All right. Everybody over there hear me? Coach Kane, can you hear me? You're looking good up there. Hey, now listen. This is the largest group that I've ever got to do what I'm about to do with, okay? When I say give yourselves one, I want you all to clap once. You ready? Give yourselves one. Give yourselves one. Give yourselves two. Give yourselves three. Great job. Hey, because at the end of the day, this is about you, okay? For those of you who don't know me, my name's Mr. Fallon. This is my 30th year here at Sanford High School. I don't want to call out any faculty or other people that are even older than me, but there are a few. I won't mention the Walkers or anybody like that, but there are some people, a small group, that are a little bit older than Big Mark, Mr. Kamari, and I. Because Big Mark and I started the same year, okay? So I have a new job here. As many of you learned the first day of school when I met with you and spoke to you in the old cafetorium, which we don't have to have anymore because we have both. That is a distraction, but that's okay. All right. So, all right, I need everybody quiet for a minute. So here's the good news. In my new job as the attendance coordinator, what I'm most excited about is the fact that Aroma Joe's is directly across the street. So nobody should be wandering through with that in their hands late for school. So proximity makes it no longer an excuse. All right. So here's the thing we want to talk about a little bit today. Okay. Now, in order to get me to do this, Mr. Williams has been working on me for 3 weeks, and he had to kind of sell this to me. So I sort of made a deal. Okay. Selfishly, I said, well, we're opening up the new school. It's going to be Wednesday, and guess what? The football team has a home game Friday night. In fact, it's the last regular season game. It's senior night. So I said, hey, I'll say some things to the kids, but how about you let me invite every single student of Sanford High School to come to the game for free. So Friday night, I want to look up in that section right there that says reserved for students and band and see a packed house. Okay? So, and you're welcome to come, and I hope all of you do, because I think it will help continue the excitement of this very, very special week. Okay? So that's it. I got my end of the bargain taken care of. Okay? Guys, there's a lot of people have talked about, or a few people have talked about up here. This is a project that took 15 years. 15 years. And I know you've heard a lot about $100 million. Think about that. I know that years ago, I couldn't believe that Noble High School spent over $30 million to build their high school. And now we're talking about $100 million, of which that money came from the state. But here's the thing. Your own community, your people, also ponied up another $10 million to make it even more special. And they did that for you. That's pretty awesome. So here's the next part. Give yourselves one. Give yourselves one. That's code for be quiet. Okay? Here's the thing. I think we as a school, in a school community, owe something back to these people. Okay? Because you know what they did? They changed everybody's perception and perspective. Because, guys, back at Old 52 High School Boulevard, God bless that place, and I know they're going to rehab it and make it into a great middle school. But when you went there, if you were from away, it was what it was. It was a brick building with 24 portable classrooms, AKA trailers, around it. We are no longer that. We are that. So the next time someone meets you from away and they ask you, hey, where do you live? Where do you go to school? You can say, hey, you know where I go to school? I go to that school that NBC, CBS, and ABC was at 5:30 this morning, broadcasting to the entire state that we now have the most beautiful, the most spectacular school in the state, because you deserve it. So this is what we owe back. This is a moment where you can check in the mirror and say, you know what? I've been getting B's for a long time. And there's nothing wrong with getting B's. But it's time for me to get A's. This is a time for me to say, or you to say, hey, I haven't been super involved at school. I haven't gotten involved in any clubs, any organizations. There's a sport that I've been thinking about trying. Hey guys, now's the time. Now's the time. Let's get this Spartan Nation bigger and badder. And it starts with you. So I want you to think about that. What are you going to change for you? And I know it was mentioned before, but I think the greatest thing that you could change is the level of respect you have for one another and understanding of who you are, what your interests are, what you care about, and make that important, okay? So I'm going to quote Dr. Seuss, because I know we all know the Dr. Seuss stuff, okay? And it's the last thing I'm going to say. I need everybody to listen and be quiet. Dr. Seuss would expect it. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Have a great year, everybody. At this moment, we got to hang tight because I'm going to invite the marching band and the chorus to come back down. And you have the lyrics to the school song right on your program, and it's going to get sung loud and proud.
All right, Sanford High School, my name is Mr. Williams. I'm the director of the new Performing Arts Center. How you guys doing right now? All right. Yes, darn right. Hey, listen, when I was at homecoming game, what an amazing night. And the football team crushed it on the field. One thing that we could have done better in the stands was the school song. So in just a minute, we're going to practice this because on Friday night, we got one more time to blow it out of the water. And every time in the future, I want Sanford High School to sing the school fight song as loud as we can whenever we get the opportunity, because we're not, as Coach Fallon was just saying, we are not that little school at 52. We are the big school at 100 Alumni Boulevard now. All right? When you're ready, Mr. Champagne, watch your class officers. They're going to help you out.
Come on,
What's that? All right. Head on back to your Block 2 location. We are Sanford! Go both ways. If you're on this side, go that way. If you're on that side, go that way. Keep your program. Put it in the scrapbook.